Hey guys, and welcome to episode 2 of the Aggressively Passive podcast. New, now
Named
officially and formally coined. Coming at you from the Holler at You studio at the WBFC Mountain Gospel Radio station here, and yeah, we're excited to be here, man.
For sure.
How you been?
Been good. I mean, I saw you like 3-4 days ago, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's been good.
That's fine.
Haven't seen each other. We typically don't see each other for like a month, but
Yeah,
because of this and other efforts,
we've been training a lot better as far as like getting in contact with each other.
Yeah. But yeah, things been good. Yeah. So you mentioned the I think we just need to go ahead and jump into it. For our dedicated fan base that has listened to every single episode, i.e. the one episode we have out.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Couldn't
do it without you.
Thanks to both of you guys. Yeah, we've officially came up with a name. If you were listening to the first one, we had a couple Easter eggs in there of a almost but not full name.
Yeah, which way? I mean, the first name was pretty cool. You know, I dug it. I mean, so the Aggressively Average podcast was the iteration 1 of this project. So we got everything prepared. We got the logos. I mean, we got the Adobe suite pulled up. We got the graphics, the images. We got, all the plans made. Everything's laid out. Everything is dubbed the Aggressively Average podcast.
Had the final cut of episode 1 done.
Yeah, and then you searched Aggressively Average podcast, and what did you find, sir?
That's what makes me really sad. Is I actually did not search for Aggressively Average podcast.
I hope you've searched this one though.
I did.
Okay,
I have searched this one, so this one's staying as long as somebody doesn't steal it.
Well, we're first now officially, so
unless somebody steals it, we're not up yet.
Well, it's true.
Actually, we are.
Well,
episode 1.
As of tonight, as of when you're seeing this episode, episode 1's up.
So I was talking to one of my guys at work, and we were just talking about random stuff, and I go, yeah, I'm wrapping up the edit of the podcast now, and He goes, oh, what's your podcast name? And I said Aggressively Average Podcast, and he's sharing his screen. He pulls it up in Spotify. He goes, oh, this must be you guys, and he subscribes to it. He subscribes to a podcast, and I go, wait, no. And so now here I am. He's just super bummed out. Come to find out that the name that we've been literally planning
around for weeks, like months. Yeah, it has been months. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Has been taken, and not just recently. Was first uploaded in 2021.
They're firmly established. Yeah.
Now, mind you, they only have 6 episodes since 2021, but still.
So yeah, I mean, I guess like episode 1, we kind of capture our theme, kind of like our tone, our vibe here at the Aggressively Passive podcast.
Yep.
So now that's why I think the Aggressively Passive podcast is actually a really good name for us. It kind of captures that spirit of it. A whole lot of nothing, but a whole lot of emotion about nothing.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and it's actually perfect. That name with that situation. Like we were named that, between you and I for a couple months working to it, and then the moment we found out, yeah, I was a little pissed off, but then we're just like, whatever. And we got over it. And literally that night we changed the name, the logo, the edit, and we were ready for upload.
Luckily we had kind of a good baseline for everything. We changed one word. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
but I do dig it though. I kind of, the play on words aside, but I think the play on words is fun, but it also captures, like I said, the spirit of what we're going for here, which is just kind of like just two dudes talking about whatever, but just like getting fired up about whatever, usually nothing.
Getting fired up about just the dumbest thing.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife has already been using this against me just in terms of like when we're having an argument. She goes, oh, really? You didn't use Google to search 3 words? I'm like, well, okay, yeah, all right.
Chalk it off to an oversight. Listen, we're not, so introduce us. We're at the Holler at You studios. So we're actually at 5 episodes. As of this recording, we're 5 episodes deep at this one.
Yeah. Up Holler at You, yeah.
And it has taken 5 episodes for us to really get footing and figure everything out as far as like, trial and error, R&D, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, with every episode, we are learning from it, and this one is no different. I mean, we're going to be learning from this one too.
Yep.
The most of the Holler at You episodes actually record out of the WSKV Pickup Country studio in Irvin, which is shout out, WSKV Pickup Country. They are great friends, great to us.
Yep.
But this is a totally different dynamic, totally different space. We're in a very small, coat closet size studio.
Coat closet with a window
here at the Holler Hatchet Studios, but it is a sound room. It is built for it is a radio station sound room.
Doing the audio edit within this room is significantly easier than doing audio edit in the bigger room.
Oh, that makes
just from the reverb alone.
Well, that checks. I mean, this is built to be completely audio friendly.
Yeah,
but the point is, we are learning. We are human. Please forgive us. We are not. I am not Joe Rogan. I'm not Tony Hinchcliffe. I cannot just get up here and just kind of completely go off the cuff. But I mean, I'm definitely trying. We're putting the hours in.
Yeah, we're definitely getting there. So I don't know. I mean, again, I do love the new name, but we are certifiable idiots.
Yeah, I make no bones about it.
Future, so.
I warn every guest we have in here, we are complete idiots. I mean, just kind of bear with us. We'll make it sound good, but it's going to take some work.
Yeah.
Sure. We'll edit and post. That's my favorite phrase. We'll edit and post.
Yeah.
Well, Josh will edit and post. I'm an idiot when it comes to all that. So, but yeah, man. So I dig it though, man. The Aggressively Passive podcast. I don't know. We're going to get everything finalized with that. We got the new logo. You sent me the logo concepts today, right? Or yesterday. You sent me yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I sent you the logo concepts, but they're already in the final edit. So it's like, hey, do you like this? I don't care if you do.
No, I trust you.
I mean, again, like you said, we both agreed upon the previous logo when we were Aggressively Average. And then we made the one word change, which was, us kind of on a whim going, Aggressively Passive. That's even better. Yeah. So I just changed the one name of the logo. Everything else styling wise is the same, but it's not a concept. It's executed.
It's
a take it or leave it.
It's employed at this. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, no, it's fine. I dig it. But yeah. So, anyways, moving on. So how's things going on your end? I know my kids, man, they've entered a new phase, but we'll broach on that in a second. So anyway, what's going on in your household before I start on mine?
I mean, right now, Rylan, my daughter, she's sick, she got that flu. But I mean, everything's good at our house.
That flu, man, it's been aggressive. It's swept through every one of us.
Yes.
There is no missing illness,
Yeah.
You got 4 kids, 2 school age.
Yeah.
And we also, go out, we go to church, whatever, we go out and about. There is no missing illness in our house.
And what and I've told my wife this for years, and this is not a new thought here, but school is a proven petri dish. But I mean, that was even more proven. So again, where we're at, we got hit with a lot of snow.
Yeah.
In the month of January, my daughter went to school for 3 days, and that was it. In those 3 days last week, she got the flu. Yeah. Everything prior to that, having gone to Disney and having gone to a place for her birthday. But yeah. So 3 days in school, that's all it's taken for her to get one of the gnarliest strings of the flu that's been going around.
Man, I don't know what strain this is, but it has been gnarly. I don't know. It's hit every one of our kids different too. I mean, the twins, which kind of want to segue over into them too. So they have been sick, but that doesn't slow them down.
Yeah,
they have learned a new skill in the past couple of weeks. So they've always been climbers. They've always been the daredevils. They've always been that kind of type. Just because they're my kids, they're 2-year-old and they're twins, and they egg each other on. But despite them being talented climbers, now they can climb out of their crib, which is it's been. So this is a new phase. It's a new chapter that we have to deal with. So to mitigate that, we bought tents. Basically, you install tents around the crib, and you can actually zip them in. So now, they can't physically remove themselves, from the crib like before. So that issue is resolved until they figure out how to like cut through the mesh and like.
Yeah, we had to do the exact same thing for Rylan.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw those pictures on Facebook and I go, oh God, I remember those things.
Okay. They've been a lifesaver. I mean, we're not ready to we're not at a position yet to childproof, parts of the house that, aren't currently, so, but until we can get to that point, this tent is kind of doing us a big favor.
Yeah.
But besides that, another skill they picked up this week is that they can work together and like Mario and Luigi just kind of hoist and like throw each other over obstacles. So now they're like, if they find an area of the house that's inaccessible, so that we basically like the living room is kind of their corral.
Yeah.
Everything in there is proofed. Everything in there is, kind of like, tailored to deal with the fact that there are 2-year-olds running around.
Yep.
But there are still points of, inaccessible areas inside the living room, notably the gas heater on the wall, the fish tank, which it's a turtle tank. We have a little turtle. And then, of course, my very expensive, TV, vinyl players, vinyls, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that is, obviously the off limits parts. But now even that's in question. I mean, to see them work together, so me and Kristen, we kind of, stayed back and just kind of, got like a Steve Irwin kind of like, observing and just kind of see what they do, just so we can kind of learn their behaviors and like,
catch the pattern. And
just kind of like. Figure it out and then kind of figure out how to address it from there. But yeah, they literally 2 years old, like Kimber is like, cause she's the bigger girl. She's like the stockier one.
Yeah.
Which is funny cause they're identical twins, but one of them is just bigger. But, little dainty Amelia gets on her hands and just like she hoists her up like onto the, coffee table to crank up the heater, put her foot in the turtle tank. Grab a hold of my expensive Charles Wesley Godwin vinyl that I got for Christmas. I love all these really cool things. I got a Victrola vinyl player for Christmas too. You ain't seen that one yet. It's pretty dope.
Okay.
But yeah, they were sitting on that. So stuff like that. So that's now that they figured this out, the baby gates are just irrelevant.
Yeah. They're just an obstacle to slow down, but not keep them out.
These tandem twins that just kind of do whatever they want. And just kind of. I was waiting for them to learn how to rappel off of things at this point.
Yeah.
It's coming.
When they get to the point where they stick the landing, that's when you're like, no.
So, the first thing we had a big gate that kind of goes around our entertainment stand that has my big Victrola on there and all my cool stuff that I like to show off, to guests. But so we've kind of resituated the gate. We kind of made the wall stove somewhat inaccessible for now. But yeah, we got a lot of work to do, man. We got a long way to 3. And 3's not going to be any better. It's just we got a long way to, any of this slowing down.
We used to, now, as you know, we just have just the one, but Rylan, when she was that age, she was the same thing. She was a climber. I remember we used to have to, we would have baby gates up around the rooms, obviously, but like at Christmas, we had a baby gate up around the tree that stood, like a foot and a half off the tree. So that,
we've been there.
Yeah. She got to a point where she was able to like move the gate around and whatnot, but she was never, obviously she didn't have anybody else to hoist her and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
that adds a dynamic I was not prepared for.
Yeah.
Because I've been through twins. Lydia was, mischievous as any other toddler.
Yeah.
But when she didn't have like a hot man behind her, just completely just like exasperating every behavior, every move she wants to make. And not only that, but aiding her in her misbehavior, so it's...
you mentioned a hype man there, and it reminds me of a joke that I was working on it for a while. I haven't been able to get it, but I used to call Rylan her own hype man. This was when she was like 3 or 4. She would do something, and you do it. Sure, she would do it, and then you could see her get excited, and then she'd go,
she's amping herself up. I respect it though. That's a skill set in and of its own. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly been something we've had a challenge we had to deal with. And Lydia, though, Lydia's been great. We've actually been going through like a real big an early spring cleaning kick, pretty much. You know, I've wiped out my garage. I took off like 3 years worth of recycling that's just been stacked up in there. I got $15 out of some aluminum and hauled off a bunch of glass. And I'm not going to say it was all alcohol, but it was definitely all alcohol containers.
Yeah,
but
Vanessa's been on a spring cleaning kick as well, and she does it while I'm working. So I come into the house, and 3 hours later I would go in. What 3 hours before would have been where the plates are now, where
that
the most
drives
random
me crazy, man. I'm a creature of habit.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a patterned man.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And she'll just turn the kitchen upside down, and she goes, "Well, it makes more sense." I go, "Really? Because I could have done this before with my eyes closed."
Why is my rice-a-roni in my cereal bowl? Here's like a South Park episode. But tell me why there's rice-a-roni for breakfast in my milk.
That's great. Yeah, Vanessa's been on the same kick.
It's a muscle memory, man. It really is. Like, I don't know if it's just us as men or just me as kind of on the spectrum, but it's. Like, I am a creature of habit.
Yeah.
I have my move sets. I get up in the morning. I go through my routine, and if something's out of place, like, it ruins everything. I stop my tracks, and I have to like reassess and reevaluate my entire day. It's just like,
about 2 weeks ago, Vanessa moved where I keep my medicine. I take my medicine every single morning. About 2 weeks ago, Vanessa moved my medicine, and in that 2 weeks, I've taken about 3 days worth of medicine.
Oh man, no, I get it. I totally get it. I'm right there with you. It's just takes a lot to kind of break habits and form new ones. I think wives don't understand that.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, and on that, so this is a complete random offshoot, but so I'm not ashamed to admit, but one of the medications I take is an anxiety medicine, Lexapro.
Same. Well, I don't take that, but anyway, go on.
Yeah. I firsthand found out what Lexapro withdrawal is like.
Yeah, brain zaps and just
by accident.
Yeah.
Holy crap, man. I was me and Rylan was being very difficult to get to bed, and I was acting like I was menopausal almost. Like I was super sad, and then I was lashing out, and then I started crying. And
it's definitely something you don't cold turkey.
Yeah.
See, I don't like SSRIs to begin with. That's a whole other rant. I was taking Lexapro there for a while. But it got to the point. Not that it wasn't working. That just it wasn't doing what I needed to do. And like I was going through cycles of sleep and just like fatigue and just like complete lack of mobility and movement, just motivation, burnout. It was just like I was hitting all these negative things. And finally I switched up to I don't know what the brand name is. It's bupropion.
Okay.
Is what I take now, and it's actually great. It's borderline stimulant. Like it's like you take it, and it gives you energy, it picks you up, and that's what the doctor is like. Man, I don't have time to be tired. I was like, it's like I got 3 jobs. I mean, I got 4 kids. I do not have time to be tired and lethargic through the day. I was like, I need you to fix this. So, shouts out bupropion. Actually, my company makes that. It's funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, my Lexapro works well for me, and I'm not going to make this a whole mental health segment, but Lexapro works well for me, and I again, my medicine got moved. I missed a couple doses, and I very quickly realized, oh crap, I can't do this. Like I did not feel like myself. It was crazy. But anyways, back to.
You feel like you're vibrating too, man. Like you get like those zaps. Like they describe those zaps. They are literally zaps. It's just like you're just sitting there like you can't. That's what scares me about SSRIs, man. It's just like I told the doctor that out the gate too. Like I went in there. I've been prescribed like anxiety meds for like sleep and stuff like that for several years. And they've helped. But like I went to my new primary care, and like in order to kind of like re-up this old prescription of like this anxiety medication I was taking. to assist with those issues. Like he had to put me on something, so he put me on Lexapro as like something to pair with it.
Yeah.
And it just I told him at the games, man, I was like, listen, I do not like SSRIs. I don't like what people say about them. I don't like the symptoms they exhibit. I was like, but I went through that whole thing for a year, and it just like did exactly what I
what you expected.
Every concern I voiced to him, it did all that. And finally, he moved me to this one. It's been great. So
yeah,
I recommend bupropion.
I mean, if I get to the point where Lexapro is giving me issues, then I'll definitely do it. But again, as long as I don't miss them, I've been fine. But that day will come. And that's for future Josh to worry about.
Yeah, no, I feel you. But that was a whole other tangent there. But how do we get there? So there's like wives moving stuff, spring cleaning,
and my medicine got moved. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to take us down that rabbit hole. But
well, I mean, I went on that whole spiel. Yeah. I have very strong opinions about SSRIs, and like that's what kind of aggravates me though. It's like from the get go, I voiced it to my doctor, and then like everything panned out exactly how I thought it would, and just that's what aggravated me. But anyway,
I'm so ignorant when it comes to medication. Like when she said Lexapro, I was like, all right, that's cool. Like let's do it, Well, and then talking to you told me, hey, that's a SSRI. And I go, crap.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm kind of tuned into it a little bit more because I do work pharmaceuticals. Yeah, that's my main job. I'm quality control in I won't name it, but a pharmaceutical place here in Kentucky. And we don't manufacture the APIs and stuff like that. We just kind of encapsulate them and press them. We take all the raw ingredients and turn them into like what you put in your body.
Package it.
Yeah, pretty much. But so I'm a little more tuned in on that part of it anyway. Plus, like Theo. I watch a lot of Theo Vaughn.
Yeah.
He's very open about his mental health and stuff, and he always talks about his struggles with going through his medications and stuff. And he is very outspoken against SSRIs too.
Really?
Yeah. So it's
I mean I'm a big fan of Theo, but I've not been a dedicated fan of this past weekend or any of his real podcasts. It's just been I catch the Theoism.
You catch the shorts and the reels and stuff. No, I get it. Like I used to be real dedicated to the this past weekend, and I've kind of fell off recently, but it's something I kind of want to get back into. Because I was such a fan. There's no reason I fell out. It's just I just don't have time.
Yeah, of course. I've got I don't think we should. Well, I mean we can if we want to, but I don't want to segue us off of this too much, but I've gotten into a new podcast, Gas Digital Network, Story Wars. Have you watched any of that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it is so fantastic. It is one of the best concepts out there. So it's Gas Digital, so it's the Legion of Skanks guys. It's Louis J. Gomez and Big J. Okerson.
Big J, yeah.
It's just those two. But the concept, and I'm not going to bore the audience, but it's a great concept. It's just very quickly. The concept is they host and then they bring on 3 comics as a panel, and they all submit to the producer. They all submit 3 to 5 stories on a given theme, and the producer makes them all anonymous and randomizes it. And basically, she just reads one story. And they all have to figure out whose story it is. And there's a whole point system. And
that sounds interesting.
It's great. And the thing that I love about it is they put so much weight on the prize. And the prize is a book. And it's a different book each week. And so throughout they go, let's remind everybody what we're playing for this week, and then they'll read an excerpt from the book. a young Joanna struggles with her.
That's perfect.
I've gotten super into that show. Again, I don't want to derail us too much, but anybody who's into that type of comedy, who's into Big J, I've been into Big J. Okerson since he did his Comedy Central Presents and like 06, 07, somewhere in that range.
Oh, he's great. I mean, every time Big J's like on any other podcast or Louis Gomez is on it, I always make sure to tune in because it's always a good time whenever they're on a panel.
What's something crazy, and I could talk about this for hours, so I'm not going to. But Louis J. Gomez used to be I don't know if he was an opener or a middle act, but he was one of the feature acts for Nate Bargatze.
Really?
Yeah, they're like used to be really good friends. So like that's they are still really
that
good
duality
friends.
there. Yeah. Anyway, this is
a live podcast, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it in the edit.
Not shouts out command strips.
Anyways,
but yeah, so the Luis J. Gomez, the Skanks, man, they're great. My podcasts are still kind of like pretty typical. It's like, I always catch Dr. Phil live. I mean,
of course, yep.
It's always great. I mean, like the one thing that's starting to get a little frustrating is like Adam Ray commits to too many catchphrases, I guess.
Yeah. The Philisms.
The Philisms. Yeah. I mean, like the mac and cheese portable, and I was like, we'll be right back. Is like the Phil. That should be like your catchphrase.
Yeah.
But it seems like he leans in like so many of them. It starts to kind of get a little real redundant. Not that they're not hilarious, but it's just like after the 15th time you hear it, it's just.
Yeah. I guess we're on a podcast chat right now, which is perfectly fine. Speaking of impersonations, Shane Gillis does a phenomenal Trump. Obviously, he did Trump on Kill Tony a few times, but his Trump impersonation, like the voice and everything and the mannerisms, is not what I love about his Trump. It is the one very small thing that he does that I absolutely love. I don't know if it'll catch it on camera or not. Am I recording? Ladies and gentlemen, as we proved earlier in this, really at the opening segment of this podcast, I am an idiot. I just realized that my camera has been off for close to 20 minutes. So sorry, you get to.
We're imperfect, guys.
Yeah. So we're working on it. We really are working on it. We got a checklist of things that we're doing, and so I'm sorry. But on this one, you will be watching Brandon for a while instead of me.
I share. We share an office space with, like I said, the WBFC Mountain Gospel Radio. So that's why I'm not using nails in here. But man, we got to figure something out. These. Well, I had so much faith in this Mainstays Walmart. Walmart poster frame and this command strip. I bought brand name on these command strips.
I will say you only did one command strip though, and
you think that merits two?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vanessa is command strip queen. She gets into the specialty command strips, command strip Velcro.
Yeah.
So Velcro. So that you can interchange the things on that. Actually, that would be really good. We'll talk about that later, but. We'll be right back. She was okay. So Shane Gillis, his now that I'm on camera, I can show you the one tiny little mannerism that he does as Trump that I absolutely love. Is he holds his hands out like this. He just does that little tiny thing, and when he does that, his suit sleeve comes up a little bit. And if you watch any Trump videos, he does that all the time, and his suit sleeve comes up, and I absolutely love it. I don't know why, but
just those minor attention details. Gillis is a legend anyway. Man.
Yeah, that's great. Of course.
Oh man.
Speaking, I'm going to be very blatant with the audience where I'm looking at our topics list, but speaking of legends. You got Bigfoot Fest coming up, man.
Yeah, I do. I think I mentioned this in the last podcast. Maybe I don't know. It might have been like the first two that we scrapped just because they were so ridiculous.
Yeah.
The beta episodes, which we might upload as like some kind of like deep cut, kind of like special edition for our Patreon members. A year from now or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, So I'm a committee member. I'm a committee member that is forming and developing the Red River Gorge Bigfoot Festival, which on the surface sounds like just something whatever any small town festival. No, this is not a small town festival. This is shaping up to be an absolutely astronomical experience. So essentially, what's going on is like we are getting this thing off the ground and kind of getting the details worked out. But we've put the feelers out there, and we've kind of introduced on social media. We've kind of put the amenities, who's coming. We got guest speakers flying in from Oregon, from California. We got the mountain monsters coming in from West Virginia from TV. They're going to be here, present, speaking. They're going to be mingling with the crowds and stuff. We got some really high profile guys coming in. Which is, one of the big draws. But we got vendors coming in from Colorado to sell donuts. I mean, we got...
From Colorado to sell donuts?
Driving from Colorado to sell Bigfoot-themed donuts. I mean...
I'm so excited, man.
The cryptid community, like this, whole Mothman, Bigfoot, Boggy Creek, this whole community that, gets into this stuff is like so faithful and so like over the top.
Yeah.
As far as their commitment and like what they'll do, where they'll go, and like how involved they'll get. So right now we're still like a few months out, and this is gonna be in May 30th and 31st. 30th is gonna be like this special edition like VIP dinner you got to buy into. It's actually sold out at this point.
Okay.
And then 31st is going to be the festival itself, which is going to be just like the main event, like hundreds of vendors, dozens of food trucks. I mean, we're looking at, crazy, crazy amenities.
Yeah.
Right now, we're looking at a minimum 20,000 people, mostly from out of state. And that's not including locals.
Oh, wow.
I mean, we're looking at a reasonable projection up to 100,000 people in a small town. That's what I'm saying. Like,
small town of county population of like, what, 8,000 maybe?
13,000 strong.
Okay.
Yeah, so we are. So you're looking at 20,000 just kind of coming in on top of the existing population.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at right now. We're kind of figuring out how we're going to mitigate this. How we're going to first, get these people parked, situated, and keep the peace. I mean, we're going to how are we going to maintain law and order? I mean, it's that's where we're at right now. So
I'm so glad you're figuring this out, because I am so incredibly excited to just go and be ridiculous at this thing.
Well, that's the thing. Like normally at festivals and stuff like that, I'll pop up, as a vendor. I'll pop up as as like some content. I have merch out there. I have literature. I have information on how to find us, and I'll be out there doing work. I'll be working.
Yeah.
But where I'm one of the founding committee members, founding members of this festival, and there's actually been 2 iterations. The first one kind of failed. It was going to be the next town over, and it's just we couldn't work it all out.
Yeah.
This iteration is completely it's going to happen. Everything's already in motion. Everything's prepping out. But because of that, I'm buying in through. I'm using my media, I'm older editor of the local paper. I think I mentioned that last time. I'm using that resource as a way to advertise, put real advertising, attention out there. I'm using my social media. I'm using my media spaces as a way to promote this thing. But I'm exchanging that for platinum sponsorship.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
Essentially. So the buy-in for platinum sponsorship is $2,000. So I'm giving them $2,000 worth of advertisement. When it all comes out of the
wash. Yeah, makes sense.
What that means though is that I can just goof off for a freaking entire day, just do whatever I want, just as a freaking team member, committee member, founding member, and platinum sponsor. I'm just gonna be out there just raising hell for.
Dude, I am so incredibly excited.
Yeah.
We were gonna be doing something there. I don't know what. But we're gonna do something ridiculous there.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I mean, what I have in my mind, and I actually do respect the cryptid community, because there's a lot of lore to those ideologies.
I dig it. I love it.
Yeah, it's great. Obviously, there's a threshold for that, but I personally I dig the community, but when you get into that, you start attracting other ideologies and whatnot, which could be a little more of the ridiculous type. What I'm really wanting to do is get something of the ilk of I can't think of the guy's name, but one of the Daily Show correspondents who just goes to to various rallies. And, I'm so incredibly excited for that. I might get some kind of suit
I'm definitely going to cosplay. I don't know what yet, but I'm doing something.
I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm definitely going cosplay as well. But I don't think I'm going to do anything cryptid related. I'm thinking half duck, half taco. I don't know. I haven't quite figured it out, but it's gonna like taco bottom.
It's promising.
Duck bottom, taco top.
Yeah, right? It's very promising. You gotta maybe taco top, duck top might attract too many like Jeep folks. So I think taco top, you kind of give the message you're really putting out there. You're not a Jeep guy, but you're a taco duck.
Yeah.
So
I'm a taco duck.
It's like.
I don't know. It's gonna be. I mean, obviously that's off the cuff, but it's gonna be something ridiculous, and I'm just gonna go around having fun.
So the name of the Powell County paper, which is where we're broadcasting out of right now, is the Powell County, Kentucky, which is where the Red River Gorge, Slade, Natural Bridge. All y'all might be familiar with that's watching this. It's where we're located here in Powell County, Kentucky. So I'm the owner editor of the Powell County paper. So and coincidentally, we are named the Powell County Patriot just because we lean into like the whole tenets of the First Amendment, freedom of the press, going back to the Constitution. There you go. We got a Powell County Patriot. So, and that's kind of where we're at as far as theme and like the our company and the direction of our paper. So I'm thinking about going in full like colonial garb. I'm talking about like straight head to toe like Patrick Henry or like. Parvier or something like that, just like powdered wig, I'm thinking about doing something like that. Just going around with a bullhorn, just be like, I came here for funnel cake and to foment the seeds of revolution, and I'm all out of like funnel cake, just something like that, So
yeah, we could do something fun around that too.
I'm kind of batting that around a little bit too, but yeah, point is, I'm super excited just because like I'm going to have a level of access that most people won't because of my position with this festival and my position as a platinum sponsor. So I'm going to definitely take advantage of that.
And I'm going to piggyback on your leverage and notoriety, and just I'm gonna take advantage of your access to do something stupid. I don't know what it is yet, but it's gonna be something stupid.
We're gonna be in a wild bunch though. We're gonna be in a wild crowd of people. Like
we're gonna have to like actively attempt to do something crazy to stand out.
Yeah,
but, and again, I do respect the cryptid community, but.
As do I. And shout out Charlie Raymond. I definitely don't want to talk about this. So I'll give him a plug. He's the head of all this. He's the think tank. He's the creator. He's the founder. I'm actually going to have a holler at you session here coming up, just with me and him, just kind of going over not only his career as a Bigfoot hunter. He's the leader of the Kentucky Bigfoot Research Organization.
Okay.
He's the leader for the state of Kentucky. He basically goes out and does the field research. He compiles all the evidence. He does all the interviews. He drives all over the state to collect all this.
Yeah.
And then he presents it. He loads it into the database, which goes into like the national collection of the Bigfoot, the Bigfoot database. And he did live here in Powell County for a good amount of time in Clay City.
Yeah.
But Powell County is still kind of like the epicenter for, the Kentucky Bigfoot Research Organization. That's where he was posted up for so long. He lives like 40 minutes away now. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But anyway, that's beyond the point. But Charlie, he's very sharp. He's very cool dude. He really got this going, and he was cool enough to kind of bring me on, bring Kristen on, and really kind of listen to us and kind of work with us, and we've kind of fleshed out this really amazing thing. But I think year one is going to surprise people, and then year two is going to be amazing because we'll have like the information, the data from year one going into year two and kind of prep.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a sucker for just small town festival stuff, right? And obviously this seems to be scaled up from small town festival, for sure. But the moment you said Bigfoot themed donuts,
I mean, that dude's coming.
My mouth started watering.
He's driving his food truck in from Colorado. If that tells you the level of commitment these people have,
that's amazing. This is gonna be a good freaking time. I'm sad that it's only gonna be one day, but
that's the thing. Like year one is gonna be one day. I think year two we're gonna have to add days. Yeah, just the amount of people coming in, the amount of attention and interest it's getting, we're gonna have to add days.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But it's crazy. And I'm trying to warn like the community leaders, like what's coming. Yeah. So like I cornered the chief of police was standing like last night in the gas station. Like me and our buddies anyway. And he comes in and is like, listen, man, I got to talk to you. It's like, I need your commitment. I need the commitment of the Stanton Police Department that you're going to help like direct this flow of traffic on May 31st. He was like, what's May 31st? I was like, oh God. Oh, wow. Have you not been following that? I was like, yeah, man, we're looking at like more people than like you could probably like reasonably envision coming into this county. Yeah. Next week, I'm going to be presenting to the fiscal court to ask them to dedicate county resources like the EMS, fire, and then the sheriff's department to aid in this as well. I'm going to be talking to like the local volunteer firefighters and fire departments to kind of come in to kind of do the same thing. Really just mitigate the flow of traffic. Because I mean, there's going to be so many people that would be like zeroing in on just like the Stanton City Park. Yeah, you know. I mean, we are prepared for the Corn Festival, which is our yearly Powell County festival.
So that's where it's going to be. It's going to be in the Stanton City Park.
Stanton City Park, man. And it's going to be possibly 3 or 4 times bigger than the Corn Festival, which is always a huge turnout every year. Yeah. So I think these guys in their mind are thinking like, oh, this is going to be another Corn Festival. No. Yeah. It's going to be like, you know, the state fair, kind of like, like, you know, like the amount of people flooding in here. So it's going to be crazy.
Yeah. I might wind up parking at your house and then
definitely
and then figure it out from there. I might bring the side by side and take the side by side in town.
I'm probably going to put a poster out there and like charge people like $50 to park at my house. You know, that's kind of like, and I live like 5 miles from the venue, so that's the kind of like traffic we're expecting right now. Yeah,
that's crazy.
But
yeah, man, this is exciting. I mean, I so the town I grew up in, we had we're big with country ham. Not that city ham, country ham.
Oh yeah.
So we had the country ham festival every year.
Really?
Yeah. And that's I still I don't like salty food, but I love country ham.
If you don't like country ham, you're a communist, though. I mean, that's just how it is.
Vanessa hates country ham, and I'm so baffled by that logic.
She looks a little Eastern European, though. Anything? Have you checked her papers?
She's part Blackfoot tribe or something.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, she's Indian, so she's not like Estonian. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't. I just don't get that logic. But yeah, we had growing up, you know, I have no idea what the ham festival brings. That's our local festival, is the ham festival. I have no idea what that brings in, but I'm imagining that on steroids.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's like, well, I'm thinking about those small town festivals. They're very important. One, for the revenue of the town, you know, that is a big part of the budget and a big part of the brings in the revenue for these, like, you know, I'm not saying Powell County's not impoverished, but, you know, like, especially into Eastern Kentucky, like these impoverished communities don't rely on their yearly festivals.
At the very least, it's a tourism thing.
Oh, absolutely. It's a big tourism event. But this is going to be crazy, and like I'm doing my best. Like we're at the juncture now, just kind of seeing the trends and the traffic that's on Facebook and like, you know, our social media like around this festival. It's like I'm just like actively now just trying to warn people. It's like you got to prepare. But yeah, it's going to be something else, man. And I'm just excited for what it is, what it can be, and so I'm excited to get that data from year one, just to kind of know what to expect for year two, because we're kind of permanently bedded in with Stanton Tourism now. Like we've proven to them exactly what this is, what it can be, and what it's going to mean for the community, and this is going to be a permanent thing. Yeah. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be exciting. I mean, especially for the you know, for the city, but I don't know. I just, as a, you know, somebody just coming in without really knowing what all's going on, I'm pretty excited about it. So
it's funny because this festival comes one weekend before Drift Appalachia, which
I got a buddy who I think is going to be racing in that.
No kidding.
Yeah. I got a buddy that does some kind of racing. There's a name for it, but yeah.
Like toke or like something. It's like drift racing. Basically, there is a name for it. I can't think of it on the top of my head though.
Rally
racing.
Yeah. So I got a buddy that does rally racing. I think he's going to be doing that this year.
So last year they came in and kind of did a test run just on like the we call it Slate Hill. It's just like the back road of the county that connects the Natural Bridge area to the it's like another part of the gorge, but it's like all downhill. It's all mountainous. It's all curvy. It's all windy, and it's just like dangerous for any other inexperienced driver. Just like driving normally on there.
Yeah.
And they come in last year and just ripped that place up, and it was just like it was amazing just because just see it live. See, I posted up in Dead Man's Curve, like right there, like halfway up the mountain. There's like this one like clearing where people, they've kind of carved it out as like a pull off spot for people if they're coming downhill. And that's where the media set up. So I set up there just to see like these cars just kind of rip around these curves and just like coming down this hill. But last year was essentially a practice run. Like nobody was racing.
Yeah.
This year they're racing.
Oh wow.
And I'm posting up right there on Dead Man's Curve again, and I cannot wait to see the kind of competition that's going to come out of this.
Yeah.
But that's coming 1 week after Bigfoot Fest, man. Like there's going to be like a 3 to 4 week stretch that I am just going to be absolutely, I don't know. I'm going to be like jazzed out of my mind, but it's going to be so exhausting.
Yeah.
to cover this from a media standpoint, but also just like it's going to be so exciting and just
it's going to be fun from just an observer view, or from an attendee. Yeah. Yeah, I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure. I mean, I know my buddy does rally racing. I'm pretty sure. I know he does one in the gorge, or has done one in the gorge before. So that's awesome. Circling back just really quick on Bigfoot Fest. Well, not really Bigfoot Fest itself, but my daughter, I think Rylan, I think she thinks that going to a festival is like the pinnacle of society, because we've been trying to get her to take her to a festival. We've only been able to take her to one, the Sorghum Festival, in West Liberty, which was a good time. It's a fairly small festival, but it was a good time. But every October she's hey, aren't the festivals supposed to be having this? And we of course want to take her, but something happens, we get sick, or something comes up and we can't go. But it's I don't know, it's strange. It's like she can catch on to those, like she knows that these are in October, right? Like I didn't know festivals were in October until I was an adult, but she catches on to these. She thinks very much like an adult in that respect. But
Lydia does too, man. It's impressive, but it's also kind of like pitiful.
Yeah.
Because they try to compartmentalize and like navigate like these very adult topics and stuff too. It's like which is very mature of them, but at the same time, like you don't need to be shouldering this stuff, man. This is our job.
I think Rylan thinks that we are just absolutely impoverished, because we were talking the other day about tax return, and I've already filled out our taxes, and after we did everything, or after we did it, we got our number, and we said, okay, we're gonna put this towards this and that towards that, and then we've already figured out what it all out. It's going to various various debt or whatever, and we said, okay, we're gonna have this much left over, and it's not a big number. So Rylan heard us say, oh, we'll have this much left over, and she thinks that's every penny that we have to our name.
That's your yearly income.
So she's like, well, I was really wanting to get this game, but I guess I don't have to.
Bless her heart. No, Lydia's just doing the same thing. Like her mom, me and her mom. We've been separated for 5 years now. Lord, it's been a while.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. But anyway, she's engaged to be remarried. She's expecting another child and stuff, and they're trying to get a house, and she called while you were here, and her tablet's broken, like her little Amazon Fire tablet. She is concerned about. She wants to wait until after they get their house, their new place, to get a new tablet. I was like, listen, I know it's sweet, but at the same time, I was like, man, you don't need to be
trying to understand credit when
yeah. I was like, what are you doing? I mean, it's like I appreciate that mindfulness, but like at the same time, it's just I mean, just be a kid, man. You ain't gotta worry about that. I mean, just you get a new tablet.
Yeah. Speaking of mindfulness, Rylan did something maybe a month ago that was the absolute most proud moment that we could have as parents. Mm-hmm. We were eating at Bob Evans, and she had just a little like mini size pack of M&Ms. I don't know if she got it for Christmas or Halloween or something, but she had like 2 or 3 packs of them, and she noticed that the kid at the table next to us kept looking at her at that, and then she eventually she looks at us and goes, I think I want to give her the M&Ms.
That's sweet. So
I was like, you do you, girl. You do you.
That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure after that we took her out to ice cream or something.
She has a good heart, man. Well, that Lydia does too. I think that's why they're such good buddies too. It's just like they're cut from the same cloth, and mentally and just kind of like spiritually. They're very in tune that way.
For sure.
But like I said, it can be a curse, and I hope that just doesn't. I hope they don't concern themselves too much and like miss out on parts of, just being a kid. And that's why I'm always trying to tell Lydia is like, just be a kid, man. Just like, don't worry about the stuff that's, concerning us. It's our job as, your mom and dad or, as the adult in this household to navigate. It's not your job.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it is, if it's just kind of culture now, but yeah. Rylan, she definitely tries to understand adult topics, and she gets scared at things that, I mean, I guess I got scared of them as a kid, but obviously things that we're like, you shouldn't be scared of this. But then there's other things, like she's got some toys that creep me out. But she's like, oh no, I love this thing. I'm not gonna name any toys specifically, but she's got some stuff that creeps me out, and she loves playing with it. But when we go to bed, she's like, I heard a noise, and it's just like her fan.
It's like your creepy ass toy. Yeah. No, like Lydia's into Furbies now, man. Which is so funny that to me that Furbies are still around, like, what is it, 28 years later, going on 30 years later?
Yeah.
I mean, it's because they came out, and we were at least like 1997, 1998 or something like that.
Yeah. Mid-90s at least.
Yeah, so she has this collection of Furblets, and like, I guess they have full-size Furbies, but she loves the little mini Furbies.
Yeah, I think Rylan has one. It's like that big.
Yeah, well, Lydia has a collection. I mean, she has like the whole series, and like every time she does something good, she cleans her room, she completes this task, she does a chore, we'll order a Furby, a little Furblet, this little thing, and she adds it to her collection, and she's beside herself, she loves it. But that got me thinking, like, so my sister got her for Christmas one of the OG Furbies.
Okay.
And you're talking about just the janky AI that existed back in 1998, like just the one that creeped all of us out, that led us to kill all of our Furbies. There was a Furby genocide in the 90s just because people were not prepared for that level of technology. I mean, there's stories all the time, like, I drowned my Furby. Everybody talks to you like, I microwaved my Furby. I buried mine in the backyard. I mean, it's just like there was an absolute massacre, genocide amongst the Furbies in the 90s, just because we weren't prepared for the kind of intelligence that toy had.
Yeah.
When it would just pick up on like cues and just like pick up on like words and phrases and like repeat it back to you at random. It's like different, in the middle of the night usually is kind of usually like
yeah, I never had a Furby, but that's creepy. I didn't know that it did that.
I got rid of mine whenever it was sitting idle in a room by itself and started chanting my name.
Oh wow. Yeah, no, that so drowning that is the right move.
Yeah, killing. Yeah, so that's why so few of those Furbies exist nowadays. Like, we killed them all.
Yeah.
it was like Moses and the firstborn child, or like the Bible story, whenever he was trying to kill, anyway.
Yeah, in the basket and
in the basket, and so on and so forth, the yada yada, Old Testament, New Testament, Jesus.
That is the best summation of the Bible. Moses, basket, yada yada, Jesus. That is great. I really struggle with biblical names. Like, just like I struggle to keep. Okay, this was that guy. This was Saul. This was Moses. This was Joseph. This was John. I really struggle, but usually what I do to go back to remember those, like the association, specifically Moses, I immediately take my head in my head. I go back to the Prince of Egypt movie.
Yeah.
And
that was a good movie.
It was a good movie. Regardless if you're,
regardless of your stance
of your faith, faith system or whatnot, it was a genuine good movie. But that, and I can still remember the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego because of VeggieTales.
Yep. That was a big one. Thrown into the furnace, man. That was a. But yeah, man. So to kind of get back. Anyway, we massacred our Furbies.
Yeah.
It was a genocide, and we there's so few left. So my sister got her this Furby for Christmas. And I mean, we're talking about, like I said, like OG, like 1998 Furby in the box, pristine, brand new. And like she got it, and like before I could even say don't, she just destroyed the packaging. I was like, man, you don't know what you had in your hands there.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, that would be worse something someday, just because like there is no Furbies left because we killed them all.
Yeah.
The fact that she got just one of the original OG Furbies and like this pristine, perfect packaging. I was like, oh man, it just hurt my guts to see that happen.
Yeah, we can't with Rylan. We have to give her as much as we can. We have to give her the knockoff of anything because it gets destroyed so quick. I mean, every parent out there knows. I'm obviously preaching to the choir on this one.
Yeah,
but there has never been a moment where I'm like, okay, don't open this because I know it's going to in 30 seconds be absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, and that's not the first toy that she's got. That is like from like this old series of toys. You know? It's like, and nowadays, like, and looking back when we were kids, we played with everything. We were kids, obviously, but now I'm going back and recollecting those same toys, like for nostalgia purposes, keeping them in the packaging, and stuff like that. But I was like, man, if I just had left those Star Wars toys in the package, if I left those xenomorph alien toys in the packaging from like the 90s, so I was like the Predators, that was my big thing. I was like, God knows what I'd be sitting on, money wise.
I was never really an action figure kid. Like I had a couple. What my favorite one was, I had, I don't remember which one, but it was one of the Ninja Turtles, and it's you would crank it up and its arm would do this and it would swim across the water. It was a bad toy.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I was never. I was more of a Hot Wheels kid. I had tons of knockoff Hot Wheels. And I would customize. I was exhibit before Pimp My Ride was a thing. I would get paint markers and I would give them their own paint jobs and whatnot. Play with them on a dirt hill. I would do that, and I would play with the walnuts that would drop in the yard.
I was a big action figure kid, man. I still have my collections too, and I probably did, I'm waiting for a space where I can display them. It's just like I can't justify taking up any part of our existing structure to display my toys from my youth. One day it's going to happen.
Honestly, Rylan has just recently started getting into. I mean, she's always, at least for years, she's had Barbies, but she's just recently really gotten into Barbies. In fact, I called my wife before we started here, and I said, "Hey, what are y'all doing?" She goes, "Oh, watching the Barbie movie." I go, "Well, I wanted to watch that."
It's actually a really good movie.
She said it's on Netflix now, so I think I'll be watching it sometime soon, with or without them.
Yeah, it's Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie. They killed that movie.
Yeah.
Shouts out Margot Robbie.
Yeah, I haven't seen.
You make me feel stuff. Anyway, love you, man. I think we're kind of coming up on an hour here, so I think that's probably about cap.
Yeah, let's do some quick plugs. Midnight Ride Media for you.
Yeah, Midnight Ride Media is kind of like that's kind of our parent company. The Midnight Ride Media hosts, the Aggressively Passive podcast. It hosts the Holler At You podcast. And, a lot of other just kind of random content goes up there. Like I cover a lot of venues. I cover a lot of music and stuff around the region, cultural stuff. A lot of that ends up on the Midnight Ride Media. So follow Midnight Ride Media on Facebook, on YouTube. Follow Holler At Ya and the Aggressively Passive podcast. Both have the individual channels. Follow them on YouTube as well.
Yep.
And then Midnight Ride Media will guide you to those also. So because we'll have them those links on that channel.
Yep. Yeah. Brandon manages all of that from a social aspect. The only thing I take care of is my own YouTube channel, J Cox Haha, because I'm not clever enough to have a better name. You can find that right here or right here. If I'm framing my it's one of these two, and Brandon's Midnight Ride Media will be one of these two for him as well.
Follow me on Facebook as well. Usually I'm too lazy to kind of like share to different pages and stuff, so usually I just kind of put everything on my main profile, Brandon Farmer on Facebook, and just kind of like let y'all do your thing.
Go to Midnight Ride Media and then from there you'll find Brandon. So
I have a lot of spaces. I have to manage them.
I don't know how you keep up with it, man. I do good to talk to the people that I talk to in person.
I'm about to hire somebody to do my social media. It's getting too much. It's getting way too much.
Yeah, I can't do any of it, but appreciate y'all hanging in there. Obviously some more technical difficulties this time around with posters falling and me being an idiot not clicking a button like I'm supposed to. But we're getting there. We're building our checklist, and we'll at some point have a consistent podcast. I'm going to bring in the command strip consultant to get our poster up, aka my wife. I should have got stock in command strip. But anyways, all right, thanks for listening, y'all.
Yep.
Have a good one.
Love you, bro.
Love you, bro.